Back inside the Rio to our featured table on day one of the 2009 main event.
Lon, have I mentioned I am stoked?
Lex with King Jack.
Lex is 25, but he plays more like he's 26 or 27.
A raise to 600.
Does Alan have somewhere to go? I wish he'd sit down.
He folds. Fold it over to Simon Moens, 7-6 of hearts.
Moens is 22 years old. I'm guessing he's a Capricorn.
He makes the call. He'll go heads up against Lex. Here's the flop, 10-7-6. Moens with two pair, 7s and 6s. A swing and a miss by Lex. Lex checks.
We saw Moens check two pair in an earlier hand. He's not going to make that same mistake again.
That's 1,100.
Raise.
And Lex with a check raise bluff to 5,000.
Well, now I think Moens wishes he had checked. Veldhuis turns up the heat with no hand and no draw.
3,900 from Simon. He makes the call.
Veldhuis has seized control of the pot with that check raise.
Turn card, Queen of Clubs. Moens still best. Veldhuis picks up an up and down straight draw. And he's firing like he's already got a made hand. 6,800.
Yeah, he picked up a straight draw, but he doesn't have a club. He doesn't have a pair. But Lex has enormous pep in his step. And if you're Moens, you have to worry that Lex check raised on the flop with a club draw and got there.
Moens is going to come along. So now the river card is a 4 of clubs, 4 clubs on the board. But as you said, nobody's got a club. So Moens with the check mark, 2 pair.
Lex has king high.
And Lex is going to bet 7,000.
Veldhuis raised pre-flop, check raised the flop, let out on the turn, and now value bet bluffs the river, and all this activity holding absolutely nothing.
Well, this board's set up pretty well for a bluff there on the river with all those clubs.
Well, Moens over there looks like he's caught in a traffic jam and doesn't know whether to get off the next exit or stick to the freeway.
Moens gives up the best hand. Lex shows the bluff once again and takes the pot the only way he could.
Translation, you scallywag me.
Welcome back to the Rio. Day 2 continuing here at the main event of the 40th Annual World Series of Poker. The featured table, action starts on Greg Raymer. Raymer looks down at pocket jacks.
Greg is very active in efforts to get online poker licensed and regulated within the U.S.
He raises to 1,600 pocket trays for Jason Alexander.
Jason is very active in efforts to give Greg Raymer more chips at this featured table.
Jason calls.
There we go.
Here we go.
I can't look at you with those cockamamie things, huh?
Then do us all a favor, Jason, and rip them off of him.
Over to the 26-year-old World Series rookie, financial advisor from White Plains, New York, Dennis Baltz with pocket kings.
45.
And he's going to re-raise it to 4,500.
When there are 3 pocket pairs, Lon, the highest pair has the best chance of winning.
Thank you, Mr. Genius.
Sure.
Back to Raymer now, and Raymer's going to re-pop it to 20,000 with his jacks.
Well, Jason, I believe, will get the message here.
Yep, he does indeed. He lays it down. Now back to Baltz with a better hand, the kings.
We're getting a little Hollywood from Dennis Baltz here. He appears to be grimacing with his pocket kings.
He needs just over 15,000 to call.
Well, if he re-raises now after this act, I think Raymer will know he's well behind.
I'd have to. Wow, the king's going to the muck.
I'm sorry, he folded?
He folded.
What, he only plays pocket quads?
Raymer will take the pot.
He folded.
Since you couldn't call, it had to be a good fold. Because you're not throwing away aces or kings, right?
I did throw away kings, and I hope it's not on TV because my friends back home will be roasting me for dinner.
Baltz folded under the glare of those glasses.
You know, actually, Ivey is a champion moocher. He eats all day, and he never reaches into his pocket.
Ivey may reach here. He's got ace-king.
I'm all in.
And he does move all in for about $6.5 million.
When Phil Ivey's all in, it's casual and cool.
All right, let's see how the rest of this final table reacts. Folded to Shulman. He lays it down now to Darvin Moon in the big blind. He has an ace. Ace-queen. Darvin takes a big swallow. He looks more nervous than Ivey, who has all his chips in the middle.
Well, Phil needs a double up, so I don't think he'd mind hearing ace-queen come on in.
A call.
A call from Darvin Moon to put Phil at risk, but Ivey with the better hand and a chance to double through one of the big stacks. Crowd certainly behind Phil Ivey here.
Lucky apple.
Darvin's family hoping that it's a rotten apple. Darvin has always said these guys can outplay him, so with all the chips in pre-flop, that might be his best chance against the likes of Phil Ivey.
Even if Ivey doubles up, he would still be one of the short stacks, but it would be a move in the right direction. The top poker pros hoping one of their own can hang on.
We're all cheering for a king.
Well, we know Phil is cheering for a king, and I can only assume Darvin is looking for a queen.
Yeah, that queen would put a hurt on Phil.
Good hand. Good hand. Good luck.
Good hand? You said good hand.
It's a good hand. Better than mine, isn't it?
Huh? Oh, yeah.
They're pretty friendly foes.
I'm sorry, Lon, I have to. Ivey, Ivey, Ivey.
All right, Ivey at risk with his ace-king against the ace-queen of Darvin Moon. This entire theater on their feet, anxiously awaiting this flop. Phil Ivey all in. Here's the flop. Oh, and there's a queen! And that sends a dagger through the hopes of Phil Ivey.
My goodness. We're going to need a medic to the broadcast booth.
Not many are celebrating that queen, but the Moons certainly are.
How do they put right in the window?
Like the mouth just read my mind. In 2003, everyman Chris Moneymaker took out Ivey with ace-queen. Now, 6 years later, another everyman, Darvin Moon, is poised to take out Ivey with ace-queen again.
All right, the turn card now. Ivey needing help. The tray of clubs is no help.
Close.
He still has a sense of humor.
Phil possibly in the middle of his main event demise. He takes it matter-of-factly. If it has to be anyone, I guess I'm glad it's Darvin Moon who's doing the deed.
Phil Ivey staring elimination right in the face.
Ivey needs a king and a king only, or his 2009 main event is over.
River card is a 5, and that will do it. Phil Ivey eliminated in 7th place from this 2009 main event.
Darvin slays Goliath.
Everyone in the Penn and Teller Theater standing in salute. Quite a testament to Ivey's almost limitless skills that he was favored by many despite his severe chip disadvantage. Joe Kata with pocket deuces in the small blind.
From Michigan, I have no ties there.
Kata looking to raise it up. He does raise it to a little more than $2.5 million. Now Saud in the big blind. And 2 queens for the Frenchman.
If Saud wins, he could ignite a moneymaker type effect in France. By the way, Saud won a $50 online satellite into the main event. Moneymaker won a $40 satellite in 2003.
Saud with a re-raise to $5 3/4 million. Back to young Joe Kata.
Come on.
All in.
And he moves all in.
And this would be for half of Antoine's stack. He wants to take a deep breath and make sure he hasn't run into aces or kings.
Carter.
Antoine does make the call to put Kata at risk. And an embarrassed Joe Kata shows his deuces. And Kata in big trouble.
I'm surprised Joe Kata pushed there, Lon. He had 40 big blinds left and just misread the strength of Saud's hands.
Kata has put his fans through the ringer here tonight. If Saud can hang on, he'll own almost 120 million chips.
Saud began this hand with 80 million and the chip lead. Kata will have 80 million and the chip lead if he gets lucky.
Darvin hoping Kata doesn't get lucky so he can be heads up. Here's the flop. Oh! A deuce for Kata. He gets the set.
Unbelievable for Joe Kata.
He did it to Jeff Shulman and now does it to Saud.
You don't want the best hand here, you want the best luck.
Wow, Joe Kata now in dominating positions. He's a tray on the turn. He keeps the lead.
It seems like Joe Kata should be 100 miles away now with no chips. He keeps coming back, and now he's about to become the chip leader.
Saud now the one looking for a miracle. Darvin thinking heads up, may have to wait.
Kata needs to dodge a queen to double up.
River card is a 6, and yet another big double up for Joe Kata. And with that one comes the chip lead. Saud taking the bad beat quietly. Billy Kopp with almost 20 million chips has a good shot to take the next step. He looks down at 5 tray of diamonds under the gun.
Billy's parents back home in Kentucky following his progress online every day.
A raise to 600,000. Next to act, Darvin Moon, Queen Jack of diamonds from the small blind.
I don't know if they have the internet in Western Maryland yet.
He will make the call for 480,000.
Darvin with 25 million chips, Billy with nearly 20 million.
And they will go heads up to the flop. The flop is king, 9, deuce, all diamonds. Oh my goodness, Moon with the better of the 2 diamond flushes.
2 of the biggest stacks in the room on a collision course here.
Darvin Moon first to act. He will check his flush.
You flop a flush 6-handed, you gotta believe you're best.
Billy Kopp bets about half the pot, 750,000.
Billy might have checked there, but I guess he's protecting his hand in case Darvin is holding 1 diamond. Darvin would only be worried about the ace of diamonds.
Darvin makes the call.
Just a smooth call.
All right, to the turn we go. It is another deuce pairing the board. Darvin Moon earns the check mark with that flush, and he checks again.
A full house possibility now on the board. That might slow down both players. But it looks like Billy wants to protect his hand against the diamond draw again, and again he's stepping into dangerous territory.
He bets a little more than 2 million. He's going to regret that. Darvin Moon now.
Raise.
Announces a raise. He's going to make it 6 million to go.
Billy Kopp in a bit of a pickle here. With as many chips as he has, and with Darvin having him covered, Billy could have played small ball and checked the turn.
Darvin's wife, Wendy, watching her man involved in another big pot.
If this close to the final table, you want to control the size of the pot. See, if Billy checked the turn and a diamond hit the river and Darvin leads out, it's an easy fold.
Smaller.
But Billy Kopp shoves.
Wow, I didn't expect that, Lon.
My goodness.
Billy has no doubt his flush is good. It's not. If Darvin calls, Billy is gone.
The board paired, and this is for most of Darvin's chips.
A call.
Darvin Moon makes the call.
It's over.
Billy Kopp sees in an eye blink his main event is done.
Oh my goodness. But Billy Kopp started this hand with nearly 20 million chips. His November 9 ticket was virtually punched. He's gone.
Darvin with over 45 million now. Wendy Moon can book their tickets to the final table. Her husband is the overwhelming chip leader.
Darvin with a huge call there. Flush over flush. Billy Kopp overplays his and shockingly plays himself out of the main event.
What's he doing raising 3/4? 3-5.